Stances, outstanding goal line stance. Third down, I think they were under 20%, somebody had 25%. Outstanding on that port. On to Texas A&M. They're a good team. Spread offense, scoring about 30 points a game. Will run the football. They're pretty balanced. Isaiah Spiller and Devin Achane. We tried to recruit Devin here, excellent player. We didn't know if he was going to be a receiver or a running back. He is an outstanding running back. T-Rob coaches the running backs. I was watching him this morning. It's one of the things that stand out is how well their running backs and their offensive line is coached. They got three great offensive linemen that we try to recruit everybody. There's going to be a battle in the trenches. They're very, very good on defense, have a great defensive coordinator. They're only giving up 15 points per game. Tyree Johnson, defensive end, they have 9 sacks. Aaron Hansfield's all over the place. He's physical and he's fast, and Leon O'Neal's a great safety. Other than that, we'll get back to work today, 24-hour rule. We did win the game, and we're going to be excited to practice this week and in our regular season against Texas A&M at home. Any questions?
You kind of had to answer this question a lot recently, but obviously last home game in a place that you've always wanted to coach in this stadium. Do you go about this weekend, do you try to savor things a little bit at a time, or how do you just kind of approach this week for yourself?
Yeah, with me, it's always been about the team. The 19 seniors, their last home game. So I want to think about them first. I want to send them out the right way. I don't think it's going to hit me till the end, and I really don't think that way. But I am appreciative of the time I had here. A lot of great days.
Coach, I guess this is the third time since you've been here, whether it's a D-line coach, interim head coach, or now that entering the LSU A&M game, there's been a lot of talk about who the head coach is going to be and Jimbo Fisher being connected to that in some way as well. I mean, is that ironic? Have you thought about that? Or
No, I'm used to it.
If I'm expecting, I guess, Austin Deculus will play this weekend, that would make him have more games played than anyone in LSU history. What are your memories of him? I mean, he's been a starter for you for a long time.
Remember recruiting him. Bradley Dale Pivotal was the lead recruiter on Austin. His mom and daddy would come here in the spring. They'd stay at Lod Cook. We'd go there at Lod Cook, and his dad's from Mamu. Obviously, we had a lot in common. We'd sit there, and breakfast would turn into lunch. We'd laugh and we'd joke. Austin is a very hard worker. He's a great player. I think he started his first game in the Swamp as a freshman when we won. And he's always been there for me, I'll tell you that. Anytime I needed him, I'd call a senior leadership committee meeting, or I'd go talk to Austin. He handled everything. Just think about all the great Tigers that's played, and he's played more than any other Tiger. It just tells you how tough he is. He was a young man that was raised right, got great character. He came back this year for a chance in the NFL. I think he is going to be in the NFL, and hopefully he plays a long time.
Coach, reports of Eli Ricks going into the transfer portal today. Can you confirm that? And it seems as though it was a little bit of a blindside since his mom said when he went out that it wasn't going to be an opt-out or he wasn't going to transfer. Just what were those conversations like, if you can?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Eli. I haven't talked to his mom. I heard the same reports. I guess they're true. I don't know if they are or not.
Coach, could you speak on how you've seen Micah Baskerville grow over the years?
Michael, we recruited Michael at Evangel High School. Not a lot of people recruited Mike. I think they were afraid of his speed. His speed is very deceptive. He was the 5A MVP, which is the highest district in football here in Louisiana. I was very impressed with him in high school. He has a nose for football. And Mike has gotten faster. He's worked with Tommy Moffitt. He's in great position, in condition. He has dropped some of his body fat and turned it into muscle. And I think, Michael came back to have a great year for the team and also to be an NFL football player. I do believe he's going to fit in with some of the linebackers that we had that played late, like Duke Rowley and those guys who can go into the NFL and play for a long time.
Just injury updates this week. Sage Ryan, where's his status? And Mason Smith, do you think you might still be able to get him back for this game?
Yeah, I think we're going to get Mason back. In fact, he ran out of the field at halftime against the last game. I said, you can run, you can go put your uniform on. He laughed. But I think we have Mason back, and I think we have Sage Ryan back, but he felt sick again today. I think he's going to miss practice because he felt sick, but hopefully he's better towards the end of the week.
Hey, Coach. I mean, we've asked you now for a couple weeks about your conversations with recruits and whatnot, but just what about the players on this current roster? Just what kind of conversations are you and the coaching staff having with some of the younger players about the future?
Stay here. You came to LSU, stay committed. It's a great school for you. Mickey Joseph and a couple of the other coaches took out all the freshmen, took them out to eat, and they had a nice dinner with them because they were kind of like, what should we do? Everyone said, stay here. You made a decision to be here. They're going to hire a great man here. You're going to be in great shape, and we have sold LSU as much as we can.
Coach, I know you said Saturday after the game that the main objective is beat A&M this week. Afterwards, though, the players were saying, we're very candid and said they're playing for you this week. They're practicing, preparing for you. Just what's your initial emotions, reactions to that?
Well, I appreciate that. I love those boys. They know that. But I want them to play for them. I want them to win for the Tigers, and it's never been about me. I've been in a great situation here the whole time, and I want them to win for themselves. This is about them.
Even if you do lose against A&M this week, there's still a chance that y'all could play in a bowl game with 5 wins. In that event, would you still coach the bowl game or have their conversations on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to talk to the administration. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have I want to be on the same page. I want to leave here, make sure everybody's clear. When I do leave, I did the utmost I could for the LSU Tigers. And if we do go to the bowl, I need to talk to the administration. We need to have a conversation to see what's best for the football team.
Just to follow up on Austin Deculus, over his time here, y'all have had a lot of different players come in through on the offensive line. How valuable has it been, at least for the last few years, to know, okay, at right tackle, we have this guy?
Not only that he's the right tackle, he's the right tackle of a championship football team. Players listen to Austin, and he's a great leader, so it's been invaluable. And there's no way I ever took him for granted. I know that some days at practice, he misses very few practices. When he's not there, there's a different atmosphere in practice. Austin's a leader. He's kind of a jokester. Everybody likes him, but he's hard to miss. He's a big man, and so he's been invaluable for us.
Coach, after the game, Damone Clark was saying that defensively he wasn't quite at their standard, even though obviously he held them to 14 points. Was that just him being hard on himself, or was it the yardage or first downs or anything like that?
He's being hard on himself. I think we missed some plays. We let him run the football. We missed some gaps. We missed some coverages. We missed some sacks, stuff like that. We had a good game, not a dominating game, but that's good because their expectations are high. They're playing much better defense than they did any time at the beginning of the season.
I think Max has 5 games where he's thrown for 300 or more yards now during his career, across the past 2 years. How have you assessed his play? Maybe this past weekend when you look at a game like that where he may miss some, but overall, you look at the stat sheet and he's had a really big game.
Yeah, I think he played really well. We all want our quarterback to be perfect. We all want Joe Burrow back there. And he wants to be perfect too, but nobody plays a perfect game. There's still some things to grow. He's still holding the ball way too long, but sometimes he's holding the ball, the guy's not open. You can't blame him. And then a couple of times they went zero blitz on us. We didn't pick the guy up. He gets sacked. So it's a combination of getting better on offense, a combination of calling better plays, and a combination of him getting rid of the ball quicker.
Hey, Coach, I've had a lot of fans ask me, what are you going to do when you're done here? They can't see you doing anything but coaching. What is your answer for them? They want to know.
Tell them I'll be in good shape. I'm taking a year off for sure. I got some things I got to get done. I'm going to take a year off for sure, and I'm going to see what happens after that.
Coach, what do you think the senior classes learn about life lessons in terms of, being at the top of the mountain and going through some struggles the last couple of years?
Invaluable. After you win a championship, everybody puts their fingerprints on that trophy, and everybody's head gets a little bit bigger, and you forget how you got there. The reason that team became a championship team because they had great assistant coaches, they had great players, and the day after we lost to Troy, we decided we ain't going to be in that position again. And I believe that's when that championship team started, the day after we lost to Troy. We went to beat Florida there, and we kept on. We went to a bowl and won a bowl, and then we had great players, we had great leadership. You cannot take nothing for granted. But life's going to throw you a bunch of curves. I tell our guys that. It's not what happens to you, it's how you react. I think these guys, this team here, has learned how to fight through the end, through adversity. No matter what the circumstances are outside of you, you got to get up in the morning, you got to decide to fight. This team has done that. Hey, I was worried about y'all after the game, Everybody's a little down. We got 24-hour rules. We got to pick it up this week, right?
What about the fans? I'm sure there'll be some that will want to send you off properly and come to the game and create an atmosphere for the team and whatnot. What will be your message to them?
I hope it's a great atmosphere. I think it will be. We play Texas A&M. It's our last game. It's a rivalry game for us. A lot of guys will be their last game. It's going to be good. Those that come, I want them to cheer for our players.
Ed, I think I've heard you say you want to do some speaking, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you feel you have to give to people?
Well,
in a general sense, outside of football.
Good. I'm in a program of sobriety, and I get a chance to go back and I can't go to meetings every day here. I like to attend meetings. I've got a couple of speaking engagements set up already to speak to people about sobriety and my story. And then there'll be some other things I can talk about to help people out. Somebody came talk to me today about representing their company, a PR deal. Some people talking about TV. It all depends. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to take it one day at a time.
Coach, I know you have Texas A&M coming up, but have you thought about the message that you're going to give to these guys, when you are done here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I told them after the game already. I took off my shirt after the game. I usually wait till before the game. I'm so excited about this game, I took off my shirt after the last game. So we're going to be pumped up. We're going to be ready to go. And this is about A&M. And all respect for them. Coach has done a good job. They got great players. They got great coaches. This is not like a love-hate deal. It's just like a respect deal. This is LSU, Texas A&M.
So, Coach, I know earlier you said you're for the team. Is there a certain senior that you think you'll miss after this game?
Well, all of them. But look at Andre Anthony. I recruited Andre Anthony with Coach Miles. Some of these guys, Andre and I was talking to yesterday. We've been through everything together. We part up. We're close. And a lot of them are like my sons, so it's not like we're saying bye. This is going to be our last game together, but we're all available. We got each other's phone numbers, I text too, so we get to know each other.
Thanksgiving Thursday, what are you most excited about eating?
Well, we ordered Italian food. Yeah, we're out in the turkey business. It's just me and the boys, so we ordered Italian food from my favorite Italian restaurant in town there.
Max Johnson was saying that 27 points was unacceptable in the last game. What do you think this offense is missing, and why can't they score more points?
We just haven't clicked on all cylinders. Sometimes we're running the ball well. Sometimes we're throwing the ball well. Sometimes we get down in the red zone, we just get bogged down. We should score more points there. And it's just been a combination of a bunch of things. We just haven't put it all together yet.
Coach, for years, LSU couldn't find a guy to kick the ball into the end zone, and Avery Atkins comes around, and it's almost taken for granted to an extent by some people. And the grades he makes in school and everything, it just seems like he's the consummate athlete.
I'm glad you brought that up. Avery has been invaluable to us. You know that Sam Nader coached his father, and that's how we got to know Avery Atkins. And, Coach Greg went and recruited him. He came here and walked on. Great young man, great student, wears the number 18. Almost guaranteed the things going through the end zone. We're starting on the 25. And by the way, his pass was on the money yesterday. If John Trey wouldn't have fell, I think he'd have got it. But he brings a lot of stuff to the team. I heard him speak at one of the events this summer. The guy is very, very intelligent. I think he has a bright future ahead of him.
It may be hard to sift through it all now, and maybe you'll do more reflecting, once y'all have played the games. But when you look back on your tenure, what are you going to remember most about being the coach at LSU?
The day-to-day basis, the excitement to come to work, seeing the players going out and recruiting, coming down the Tiger Walk, the 2019 season, the getting the big recruit, going out there and competing with all the coaches and all the players we've been through has been phenomenal.
Ed, just in a general sense, does the good outweigh the bad? You know,
Say again?
Does the good outweigh the bad over these 5 years? For you?
Oh, yeah. No question. I ain't had a bad day yet. I'm not going to have a bad day. I think I'm going to make it. Everybody good? Have a good day, guys. Go Tigers.